Tyler Loong with a great, hard-fought victory in his match. We'll pull up the bracket, Mark, and we'll get the scores. And, of course, McGuffin with a 3-set war with Ben Johns that you and I called about an hour and a half ago. Oh, and that skids right on the line, sliding away from the Loong forehand.
Speaking of sliding, it's one of the things we can expect from these players, Dave, that I think is so fun about watching these athletes out here is this is like a gritty hard court, and to watch them slide around on it really is something.
Good deception.
That was a situation where McGuffin held off as long as he possibly could, waiting to see where Loong was going to commit to. And when he saw Loong lean left, he went right. That's a move that Loong loves to do, is he loves to jump the kitchen on that side.
And maybe, Dave, you can talk about why players are, if people aren't familiar with it, or maybe they're watching singles for the first time, or they're not quite sure, why would players jump over the kitchen and put themselves actually out of bounds by the time they land? What's the strategy behind that?
The biggest reason is it takes time away from your opponent, and it creates an angle for your next shot that makes for an easier kill shot. So the reason you do that is because your next shot's going to be a kill shot, so it doesn't matter that you're out of position, because hopefully the point is over. At least that's the objective. And Tyler's as good as anybody in the game. And I have a feeling we're going to see it often, Mark, in this matchup where Loong tries to jump the kitchen both on his right side, which is his forehand side, but he also will do it on the left side of the court where he's got his backhand.
Difficult serve from McGuffin. That forces Loong to hit from further back, and that's going to be so important, Dave, to get that serve deep, not necessarily to win the point outright, but to put the returner in a position where they can't easily come forward and apply pressure at the net.
4-1.
Mark, I really look for McGuffin to try to not be on this court for too long in this match. He wants to get this and be all business, get this done, because we know who's waiting in the wings. Oh my gosh! To get that ball back would have been unbelievable in a lob, and he drove it. I can't even tell you, Mark, what his grip was there. But remarkably, McGuffin stayed in the point. I mean, if it was me, I would have been going back to serve the next serve, Mark.
That's one of the things we talked about here. You can never count these players out. We saw that a moment ago in the women's gold match between Irina Terashenko and Michelle Esquivel. We're seeing it here right now in this bronze match between McGuffin and Loong. So athletic, and that's one of the evolution of pickleball. The number of times, Dave, I hear from people talking about how pickleball is changing and how it seems like every time you take a look, the players are getting better. It really is in terms of the athleticism that we're seeing out here, that's really shifting the way that we think about pickleball.
McGuffin missing an easy forehand volley there that he'll make 99 out of 100 times.
Oh my goodness.
That's the sliding we were talking about from Loong.
I think he might have aggravated a leg there on that last slide. Let's keep an eye on Loong's footwork here, Mark.
Well, we did see earlier when he was out here, did stumble a little bit, almost rolled his ankle. And these guys play such physical style of pickleball. There's an example of jumping the corner. We talked about that before, getting the ball before it gets too low.
So you see how that gave him a much easier shot, because he got the ball at its apex. He got that ball at the highest point, which gave him a better angle to finish that point down the line for the winner. Oh, this is unbelievable pickleball. I mean, Loong is playing great. I mean, I don't know what else Tyler can do here. And, he just takes a deep breath and a little frustration because he knows he's hitting great shots. He's running balls down. He's making Tyson hit extra balls. But McGuffin is just that much of an elite athlete.
Great chance to remind people, if you are watching the stream, I'd like you to do two things. First thing is to hit that share button so other people can join in on the fun and enjoy this great action. And once and only once you've hit that share button, then say hi to us. Let Dave know where you're watching from. Did you play any pickleball today? Tell us all about it. As we watch Tyler Loong put away that high forehand volley down to the backhand side of McGuffin for a winner.
A reminder, pickleball friends, this is just the first tournament here in the Professional Pickleball Association Series, one of 7 this year. And as we have time throughout this broadcast, we'll try to give you some locations and dates of future tournaments. But the next one is going to be next month in Atlanta, Georgia, at a Lifetime Fitness in Peachtree Corners, I believe, as we witness a terrific forehand pass down the line to the Loong's backhand, and Loong could not catch up to that ball.
We'll say hi to a few people who we will say hi to because you shared. Raymond Boulat from Sherman Oaks, California. Sandy Smith, Missouri. Jeff Miller in San Antonio. Felicia Barber says, hi Dave, watching from Mays Landing, New Jersey. Mark Huggins, North Palm Beach. Judy Hawkins, St. George. And Keith Ramos from Down East Maine, St. Croix Valley Pickleball. Tyler Loong serving 3-7. He's trying to construct a few points here, and that's the way to start.
Great forehand.
Christian Hammerum watching from Denmark. Hey, Christian. And right
11
there.
point timeout. Loong takes a little.
All right, we got a quick hydration break from our friends at Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. Back in a second with more Mark and Dave on Championship Court.
It's no secret, I lose so many electrolytes when I play. Eventually, I either start cramping or I run out of gas.
Electrolyte Supreme gives me enough energy and hydration. They prevent cramps, and what's really important to me, they help me to recover quicker.
I know I can push myself a little bit more and not have to worry about cramps.
I feel better, I feel good, and it's fun to feel good.
We're feeling great, we're energized, and we're ready to have a great day, right, Lucy?
And it's fun to feel good.
Why don't you put your hands together one more time for these fine folks.
And we're back here live on Championship Court. Mark Renison alongside Dave Weinbach. You're looking at Tyler Loong getting ready to serve here in this bronze medal match against Tyson McGuffin. Four seven right now. The winner of this will go on to play for gold against Ben Johns. The loser of it will have to satisfy.
Wow. I mean,
just out of reach.
But McGuffin hit a phenomenal return deep in the corner. Loong hits an incredible forehand cross court, which he thought was a winner. McGuffin goes on full stretch backhand volley. This is incredible singles here, Mark Renison.
It is singles. I mean, I had someone earlier today talking to me, Dave, that I saw here on the grounds at the Mesa Tennis Center say, I didn't know singles was so exciting. And it's a different kind of excitement, they told me. You know, when you play doubles, you see a lot of these bang-bang rallies up near the net, those quick reflex volleys that you're so great at. And this is a different kind of excitement. This is a little bit more sort of run-and-gun kind of style where players sliding all over the courts. Different kind of excitement, and it's really nice to have that variety here in the PPA Tour.
Great crowds here all week.
Speaking of the PPA Tour, we had someone, Deke Marshall, who's been with us throughout this tournament, asking if all the PPA tournaments are going to be broadcast like this. They will be, Deke. The team at Pro Pickleball Media, alongside Steve Taylor from Digital Spatula, can be using that great Logitech equipment to bring you this crystal clear video and audio. I'll be doing the broadcast commentary for 4 out of the 7 events, including the Grand Slam event in Newport Beach, California, as well as the PPA Championships in Las Vegas and the Grand Slam Qualifier in Dallas.
So thanks for that question, Steve. And of course,
I guess,
we will
I
be
guess that
bringing
means they're
you.
enjoying it. They want to know more.
We've gotten a lot of great feedback, Mark. Carl and Steve and you and all the various commentators bringing all this great live action. So for the folks that can't physically be here, able to take in all this great action, not only live, but of course these matches are recorded. So down the road, anybody can watch these and enjoy this great action here of the best players in the world. And there's an unbelievable slice backhand drop volley. It can be a very effective tool in the singles game.
All right, we'll stay with this for a moment while we talk. Want to give a shout out to a special viewer right now, Shelly Smith Loon, watching from Utah. Shelly Smith Loon happens to be the mother of Tyler Loon. So Tyler's mom in the house. Welcome, Shelly. Your son's doing a great job out here. We got Craig watching from Kansas City, home of the Super Bowl champs. Who else we got watching? Powell River, BC. Love it. That's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Powell River, BC. Love it up there. Spent some time in Desolation Sound.
You guys that are watching, please, you see that little share button on your screen? Go down and click that. And click that like button too while you're at it. So many more people can enjoy all this great live action here at the PPA tournament at the Mesa Tennis Center.
Amazing match on Facebook right now. Go to ProPickleball.
Not quite sure, Pam.
Just another glorious day for pickleball here in the Phoenix area.
5-7 right now. Tyler Loon serving. We had someone notice that he seems to be limping a lot. And Dave, you were the first one to mention that. We saw Tyler sliding for a ball earlier. And yeah, it might be.
Loong recently getting over a very, very bad ankle injury that he sustained last year. And I remember seeing his ankle look like a tennis ball. Ref said that was good. Tyler's kind of shaking his head, but if you don't call it right away out and you don't see it clearly, that ball is in.
8-5 Tyson McGuffin here. Controlling play, making Loon work. That ball has the right direction, but it's long. Again, both these players, similar game style actually, Dave. They really use their speed around the court, their agility to create opportunities, create angles, and especially to use that forehand of theirs.
Both players are very long and lengthy, and they know how to generate angles. And there is the Loong two-handed backhand weapon that, unfortunately, I have personally experienced when I play against him. I think he is one of the best two-handed backhands in the game, men or women. He generates an unbelievable amount of pace on it, always rolls it with topspin so the ball comes down, and he's very accurate with it.
That ball tries to dribble over the net, can't quite do it though. And
Yeah,
with that, it's a point 9-7.
Don't think he's 100% here, Mark, physically, because Loong will always get to that ball when he's healthy, and he was very late getting there. So let's keep an eye on his movement. Oh, there's a great inside-out forehand. We've seen that 4 or 5 times already in this match where Loong steps to his right and goes with that inside-out forehand pass. There's another example of return in the middle part of the court with a lot of slice where the ball stays down. And it's very difficult to attack that ball, as we just witnessed from Loong. I mean, that ball hit his paddle and went straight down. Thank you, folks, for clicking on that share button so many more people can appreciate this great action. That's, as I like to say, issues.
Ball sits up a little bit too high. McGuffin goes down the line. That's going to set up the first game point here of this match. Even though it's at the loser's bracket, it's 2 out of 3. Players are going to be quick timeout. We're going to stay with this for a moment. We got so many people watching that we want to say hi to. Of course, you all hit that share button because that was the rule, right? We'll say hi to you. We got to hit share. So we got Sue Finn. You were there yesterday. I'm glad you loved it here yesterday, Sue. We loved having you. Let's see. Shout out to Grandmaster Matt Loria. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Matt Loria. That's courtesy of your friend Shane Stokes. Bobby Cooper, watching from St. George, Utah. Forrest Fink in Wenatchee. I wonder where that is. Tell us. Where's Wenatchee? Outgrove, California. Hi to you, Corey. David King in Manitoba, Canada. Olivia Hackbar, Clear Lake,
my woman.
Iowa.
Bad, but you know what I mean, right? Okay, thumbs up. We're good.
Sue Blackburn from Ontario.
We're going to share this match.
All right, we can get to 500. I believe it, folks. We're at 364 right now. With your help, we can get to 500. This is worth it. These players are worth it. Scott Goldland's here. We say hi to you. Deco Barr, hi to you as well. Steve Peranto, one of the legends in the pickleball world, for all the great work you've been doing.
Put your hands together as they come back to the court. Show them some love. Give them some energy.
All right, we're now back in the action. Here we go. We've got a game point here. Tyson McGuffin serving, 10-7.
10-7. Game point. Nice deep serve to the backhand. Return down the middle. Oh, what a cover. Oh, and Loong was
read
there.
it. He read where the ball was going, but couldn't quite get that ball in the court. And with that, that is going to be game number 1 in this best of 3 contest, going to Tyson McGuffin. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a moment. Mark Rennes and Dave Weinbach, the PPA Grand Slam qualifier from Mesa, Arizona.
People have this conception that pickleball, oh, that's an old person's sport, but I don't think they realize how physically demanding it is with those quick bursts and long, grueling points. The first US Open, I found myself cramping in 2 different events. When you start cramping, it's too late. And when I first started playing, I wasn't ready for that. The biggest difference I feel on the court with Jigsaw products is I'm not cramping at all. It gives you that mental confidence that your body's going to hold up. Jigsaw products will provide a lot of value to you both on and off the court.
We are back live on Championship Court, 0-0. This is game number 2 here in this men's pro bronze medal match. Singles day on day number 4 here, the PPA Grand Slam qualifier in Mesa, Arizona. Mark Rennes alongside Dave Weinbach. Our friend Ina Pickle is watching from a cruise ship, Dave, the Princess Regal.
We like it. We like it. While you're on that cruise ship, click that share button so more people on that cruise ship could see this great action here between Tyler and Tyson here in the beginning of Game 2. McGuffin taking Game 1. Remember, the winner of this match, Mark, will advance to the gold medal match where Ben Johns is waiting in the wings because in the winner's bracket final about an hour and a half ago, he beat McGuffin in a 3-set thriller.
It's a point for McGuffin, 1-0. There you go, that's a clean winner down the line. You don't often see those against a player like Loong, as quick as he is at the net. Usually able to at least get a paddle on it. The return sat up a little too high and a little too short, allowing McGuffin to swing freely, take the point. Jeez.
He's going to get it. Oh, he didn't do much with that ball, Mark.
You can see, Dave, why players of this caliber go through so many paddles over the course of a year. In that 1 point alone, you could hear McGuffin's paddle scrape the ground as he's trying to get those ball back 3 times. Dave, I got a question for you about paddles in a moment from one of our guests, or one of our viewers, I should say.
Oh, great forehand on the line from Loong. That ball had so much topspin, Mark. It's dipping, and it gets way below the net by the time McGuffin makes contact with the ball and makes McGuffin's volley so much more difficult.
So the question we had earlier, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was from. They had a question about whether the pros typically use different paddles for singles and doubles. Any comment on that, Dave?
That's a great question. I actually do. I use the PaddleTech Tempest wave paddle for doubles because it has more sensitivity and more feel, more touch, more control. And the doubles game is really about that. Whereas in the singles game, the emphasis is more on power and passing shots and depth of the serve and the return, and getting a more penetrating ball flight. So for me, I use a more powerful paddle called the PaddleTech Bantam. So some players will do that, Mark. These two players, however, do not. They use the same paddle for both singles and doubles. I would say that 80% of the players, of the pros, use the same paddle, whether it's singles or doubles. What's your feeling on that and the reasoning behind it?
Yeah, I mean, generally the argument for using the same paddle is that players are getting so used to one particular paddle that they would, even though in theory there may be an advantage to, because you hit different kinds of shots in different situations in singles and doubles, but sometimes they will prioritize a consistent feel between singles and doubles. And so I can see the argument either way, but yeah, you're definitely not doing it wrong if you're switching paddles, and you're definitely not doing it wrong if you're staying consistent.
Nice cover by Loong there.
Tyson's so good on that counterattack after defending with a drop, really coming forward and looking to pounce. He comes out on top of that with the point.
A little forehand that clipped the net and ended up in a different spot than Loong thought it would end up in. McGuffin with a sorry about that moment at the end there, that it clipped the net. Interesting, Mark. Tyson is serving from the middle of the court, even to a left-handed player. So I find that interesting because normally I would suggest that he try to stand a little bit further to the right to generate a better angle to try to get the ball to the Loong backhand, which certainly is not as strong on the return of serve than the forehand.
Good effort by Loong. The trouble is that Tyson really prioritizes hitting that forehand even from the left side corner, and the further he goes to his right, you're right, Dave, it will create a better angle. It's also going to mean that he's got further to run to set up that forehand from the left side of the court. And so, again, here you see him use that forehand from the left side to set up an opportunity.
You go around the post. Oh, it was there.
So again, sort of like, we're talking about the different kinds of paddles. It's a matter of prioritization. Which do you prioritize? Prioritize causing trouble for your opponent with the serve, or creating opportunities for yourself on that third shot. And what we see from McGuffin typically is that he's going to put more eggs in the basket of getting that forehand for the third shot that he wants. And with that, we have a quick timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout as well. Mark Rennes and Dave Weinbach coming back to center court with more from game number 2 here in Mesa. We're back live here, Mark Renneson alongside Dave the Badger Weinbach, and we are enjoying, we hope you are too, some nice men's pro singles bronze medal action.
What a treat here, Mark, to be courtside, right behind where McGuffin is serving right now, in the shade, in a very comfortable, under a very comfortable tent to take in all this great action all day long. And we are at 6-1 here in game 2, and that's going to sail about 5 feet long. A very wild, uncharacteristic serve by McGuffin. Thank you for joining us, pickleball friends around the country and around the world.
The ball catches the top of the tape, doesn't squibble over. Sometimes it will. McGuffin's going to get the serve back. Serving this time at 6-1.
Oh, look at that cover.
Once again, Loong working hard to get his paddle on the ball, but from that position couldn't do much with it. McGuffin's happy with that result, stretching his lead to 7-1 here in game number 2, having won game number 1 11-7. The winner of this will go on to play Ben Johns on this court.
Look where he puts that serve.
Ball's just long.
It just amazes me, Mark, with the velocity of his serve and the accuracy that he gets with the spots that he picks to aim it.
Look at that angle. Loves that forehand, that little inside out. McGuffin in that situation, so tough to read that Loong essentially has to guess, because McGuffin can play that off-speed little dipping mini drive, we could call it, or he can rip it down the line, and from that position the angles are so tough. Might think that Loong starts to hit the return down the center of the court more, Dave, going forward, if he can, to reduce the angles McGuffin has to work with.
I'm surprised he hasn't mixed it up more. You know, when I play singles, I try to mix up the return. So I'll attack deep to the backhand, I'll roll some to the forehand, but I'll also try to return some down the middle, as you say, to not give your opponent an angle for the pass.
It's going to be a quick referee timeout here. We're going to stay with the stream here as we're heading into match point here. McGuffin about to serve. He's got Tyler Loong on his heels a little bit. And a reminder that coming up after this match, we're going to be seeing the gold medal match here, which will...
I definitely feel, Mark, that one point in the first game where Loong slid into one ball going to his right and then came back and slid left, I think he hurt himself on that slide to his left, and he is not going to use this as an excuse in any post-game comments or post-game interviews, I guarantee it, because the guy is such a competitor and such a battler, and he's not going to make excuses, but he is not 100% right now. His movement is slightly impaired.
And his impaired movement is better than my regular movement. All right, back to match point here. Tyson
I would agree
McGuffin.
with that.
Thanks. Tyson McGuffin serving.
Okay, now here's the real results. That was just a crude joke. Here we go. Men singles, skill level 3.0.
Tyler takes an extra long.
Serve.
Tyler takes an extra long look at it. And that's going to be match point. McGuffin happy about it. Congratulations from Loong. McGuffin, not unexpected. We thought there was a pretty good chance we would see these two heavyweights battling out for the gold. We will in a few minutes, as Tyler Loong has to settle for third, Dave.
We thought it would be about 2 hours after their previous matchup, and I think we're going to be within about 7 minutes of that call, Mark. So, folks, stay tuned. Don't go far. The next match we're going to bring you is going to be the gold medal match here in men's singles. Ben Johns coming through the winner's bracket unscathed, taking on Tyson McGuffin, who earned a berth in that match by taking out Tyler Loong here in this bronze medal match at the inaugural PPA event here in Mesa, Arizona, Mark.
And Dave, you going to join us for that final?
Would never miss it, Mark.
All right, sounds great. We're going to be back with more in just a little bit. In the meantime, enjoy these terrific commercials from the companies that help make the PPA Tour possible. We're going to be back right here. Stay close. Coming back from Mesa.